Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. And with me today is Jiunn Liu, Seth Geis, and John McTavish. How you gentlemen doing?
Good. We got it. We got ourselves a gangbang. What's up, buddy people?
We're rolling.
So today we are talking about the Cornelius and Anthony, the Gent Robusto. Cigar's 5-inch by 52 ring gauge, comes out of the La Zona factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Rosado. Binder is from the United States. The filters from Nicaragua and Honduras. And it's blended by Hector Alfonso. Price point is $8.50. And the cigar was released in July of 2018. So with all that out of the way, June, what was your smoking experience like?
It was really tasty. So I got a lot of great flavors: honey, toast, nuts, cedar, baking spices, minerals, and this really nice. I like when there's spice. Usually it's like black pepper, white pepper, red pepper, kind of a thing. But I really dig it when the spice kind of coats my entire palate, which this cigar did for me. When I retrohaled, got more minerals, baking spices, like a natural creaminess from like roasted nuts. Finish having kind of more spice driven, minerals, baking spice, white pepper, and it was really long. It lingered on for minutes. Strength and body medium, and basically the whole cigar was kind of like this, and especially within the second third, I felt like those notes that I just talked about was fuller. So I totally dug that. Final third, it loses out some of that creamier, like softer notes, such as like the toast honey notes, and it just gets more spices out of it, but still very good. In terms of construction, I rated the burn to be good, a couple notches below our perfect score. Still good, but my main issue was the wrapper burn issues. I had to touch it up like 3-4 times. Not a huge deal. Still was able to taste all the great cigar notes, but that was kind of annoying. In terms of draw, it was very good. It was a little tight, but really there's no like material issues with it.
How about you, Seth? What was your smoking experience like?
I'm smoking it right now, man. So I need to gather my notes. No, man. Really, really great start. First third, got some nice red pepper, sweet spices, a little bit of leather, sweet tobacco notes. I was also getting like this milk chocolate and hazelnut quality to it. Smoking around medium body, medium full. When I get into the second third, it gets a little bit more. There's a little smoky quality to it. It's showing some mineral notes. Still getting that hazelnut. Strong tobacco, rich earth, medium full. Then when I get into the final third, it's just smoky. Lots of spice, earthy, leather, tobacco, medium full, just really enjoyable. Solid construction from beginning to start. The burn line, it wasn't perfect, but it was good. And I actually really like the draw on the cigar. So how about you, John?
Well, let me tell you, I also found this to be a tasty smoking experience. Anytime a cigar starts out for me with with gobs of cocoa and baking spices, like just it doesn't sort of lead in. It just like it's a horse out of the gate, and it's like pow, here's your flavors, and I enjoyed that. And I'd say that a lot of La Zona cigars tend to have this really intense pepper, and this had really intense pepper for me, but it only lasted for maybe little under half of the first third. And then what happened is that pepper dropped off and got replaced with more, I would say more complex baking spices with a defined cinnamon. And it's very rare for me to taste specifically cinnamon in a cigar. And it was really nice. I mean, you mix cocoa, cinnamon, baking spices, creaminess, sweetness. That's a really, really good third. Middle third kind of led the same way. There was a little bit of sweetness, sort of undefined sweetness. I don't want to say generic sweetness because I don't want everyone out there to get their panties in a notch. So we'll just say generic sweetness. And then there was a little bit of cedar that kind of came and then went. And then the cinnamon kind of dropped off about halfway through, which is unfortunate because I was really enjoying that in the profile. And then in the last third, baking spices were kind of leading the profile going into the last third and carrying the last third. And then cedar took over at the halfway point. In terms of burning construction, I had similar experience to Jiunn. I had multiple touch-ups. First third, middle third, last third. So I don't know if it's just the wrapper is maybe extra thick. Who really cares? The smoky experience was great. Ash held on well, like 1.5 inches plus. So that's who cares? I don't judge cigars on how they burn. I judge cigars on how they taste because I'm a sane person. And the draw itself was
Fire.
It was right in the ideal zone, which is just sort of smack dab between resistant and open. So yeah, good times. Aaron, how was your experience?
Yeah, same, exactly what you said. Cigar starts off right away, full flavor. Equal combinations of cedar, cream, cinnamon. About a quarter inch, and I get a little bit like a light floral perfume note that joins in on the profile. Cedar and cream up front, about a half inch in. Cinnamon's and the perfume notes kind of in the background. The cinnamon starts to fade out as the third's going along. Red Trail's got like an even mix of cedar cream and the floral perfume note. And then as the third's wrapping up, still a kind of a creamy bread note up front, a light cedar and floral perfume in the background. Strength was slightly above medium, but kind of settled in at mild medium as the first third was coming to a close. Second third, creamy bread still up front. Floral notes kind of drop in the perfume part of it, settles in right behind those front notes. About a half inch in, the bread's replaced by oak. Still kind of carries that same creamy note. Floral components still faint in the background. Red Trail just kind of carries the oak note to it. And strength in the second third still slightly below medium. And then in the final third, the light floral note returned. Profile was mainly charred oak. A little further in, oak started to become kind of like a green young kind of profile to it. Still has that char and that light floral note to it. And then a little bit of cream returns about 3/4 inch in. Red Trail is a creamy oak note. And then as the third wraps up, that green young note of the oak kind of goes away and it kind of gets back to that regular charred oak. And strengths remain at slightly below medium. I'm going to echo the burn issues on the cigar. A couple of touch-ups to keep things going along. I don't know if it's the wrapper or if it's that proprietary binder that they're using. It seemed like I had similar issues with this cigar that I did with the Mistress. I know that the Mistress had a very thick wrapper on it, but they both use the same binder. So I don't know. Maybe that's the common denominator here. Regards to the draw, I thought the draw was perfect. I had no issues with it whatsoever. So overall, Jiunn, what were your thoughts on this one?
I thought this was great. I think this is the best within the Lozano stuff that came out this year. This is the best one that I smoked from them, hands down. So I loved it. I love full flavors. I really dig that proprietary binder, giving that extra little spice kick. It's very unique. It's really not much like anything that's out there. So I really enjoy that within Cornelius stuff. So yeah, I really loved it. Love to smoke more of these.
All right, Seth, how about you? What were your overall thoughts?
Great cigar. Fantastic. Great new release for Cornelius and Anthony. Probably one of their best new releases. And also in classic fashion, the factory Espinosa created a better blend for another company.
That's right.
Which is what every company who produces something for anybody. So probably one of Espinosa's best cigars come out of Espinosa too.
Yep. All right, John, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think what's interesting for me is that, it's really tough to pick between the Gent and the Mistress because fortunately they're very different cigars. What I like about the Gent, and Jiunn was saying this, it's got a ton of flavor. And it's nice that you can pack a ton of flavor in a cigar and not kill you with strength. I mean, yeah, it might get to a medium plus barely at one point, but I would say the cigar for the most point just kind of hit that medium mark and kind of stayed there. So it's not crazy strong, but the flavors are just so rich and so decadent all the way through. I'd smoke these all the time. It's delicious. Aaron?
Yeah, I mean, the word I would use in the review to describe the first half of the cigar was elegant. I thought that describes the flavor and the kind of the presentation of the cigar. It's very refined. It kind of changes it up a little bit in the second half of the cigars. At least in when I smoked for the review, the other cigars I've smoked have shown greatness other times in the blend, but. It's a really nice cigar. I think it's definitely the best Cornelius and Anthony cigar thus far. And then exactly what Seth was saying, Espinosa producing a blend this nice for not themselves. So it's good business to do it that way as well.
Hold some back, guys. Hold some back.
That's how you get customers, right?
Yeah, that's not intentional, I don't think.
But I dug it. I thought it was a really good cigar. So let's get into the scores. We'll start at the top. Seth, 8.48.
Raise the roof. Sorry.
Jiunn, 7.88. John at 7.32, and I had a 6.87. So Seth, 8.48.
That on. Great stick.
All right.
Maybe 0.46, but yeah.
All right. Jiunn, 7.88.
I think I would have reached an 8 if the construction score was better. But
Yeah.
what basically what I'm trying to say is, in terms of the flavor profile, it is fucking really good.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm in the higher 7s instead of lower 8s because of a couple of construction knockdowns.
Yeah, I think you, John, and myself all would have scored it higher if we had a better burn on the cigar. So it would have scored higher if we just had a better burn. And same goes for the Mistress, I think. So John, 7.32.
Yeah, word for word. I mean, this is if you mark this, I think it's being held back by the construction. Based on flavor, this is a high 7s, low 8s flavored cigar, and I think it's unfortunate because we go through so many cigars this year where the construction's propping up the cigar. In this case, the construction's holding the cigar back. Like, don't let the score fool you. This is a high 7s, low 8 flavor cigar. This is top cigar of the year without a doubt. It's delicious.
Yeah, I had 6.87. I just felt the final third in what I smoked for the review wasn't as good as some of the other cigars I smoked. But it's if it had a better burn, being in the 7s for me, which is fairly high for my scoring. So it's definitely a kind of one of the better cigars of the year, I would say. Any other final thoughts from you guys on this one?
Don't do drugs.
I gotta smoke this in other Vitolas, man. We gotta do like a full vertical.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool on this one.
They're good.
Yeah,
they're good. All of Vitolas are good.
Yeah,
nice.
Why do you think they make better cigars for other brands?
I don't think it's intentional. I think when they're creating blends, well, we can talk about some of this stuff off the air.
What do you think?
I don't think it's intentional. I think they think they're either probably creating a better blend or, the company's created a blend and then it's just, it's like that La Gloria Cubana for General, that Sumatra one. That new one, that's a great stick. Ernie made that one. He should have kept that for himself, man. It's like, no, I'll create you something else.
But like I said, if you give some good blends to other people, that's how you get other customers coming to you asking to make cigars for them. So
true enough. Do they need more customers? I feel like they got enough customers now.
Well, I don't know. I mean, how
they're trying to get to the $1 billion mark.
They're subletting AG's factory now, so why not just take it over?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe they're going to start doing stuff for AG now. They'll be like, AG's been doing stuff for everybody else, like
New World by Eric Espinosa.
That's right, New World by Eric Espinosa.
AJ's making everybody else's stuff, and now they're making AJ stuff.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I'll show you how it's done, AJ.
Yep. All right. If you just catch this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. We'll also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalates.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.